A woman matched with the perfect guy on Tinder. 3 dates later, she was trapped in a basement with 2 other women who swiped right in the same profile. The man holding them had no criminal record, no red flags, and police had no idea he existed. Let me show you exactly how this happened. This is the story of Lauren Hayes, a 27-year-old nurse from Columbus, Ohio. In January 2022, she downloaded Bumble after her friends convinced her to start dating again. She'd been single for a year and figured it was time. After a week of swiping, Lauren matched with someone named Marcus Chen. His profile looked solid, a physical therapist who volunteered at animal shelters. His photos showed him hiking at a coffee shop with a golden retriever. Nothing weird. They talked for 3 days. Marcus was different from other guys on the app. He asked real questions, remembered details about her shifts at the hospital. When he suggested meeting for lunch at a busy restaurant downtown, Lauren agreed. The first date went perfectly. Marcus showed up on time, looked like his photos, and paid for lunch. They talked for 2 hours. At the end, he asked if she wanted to meet again. Lauren said yes. The second date was dinner at an Italian place. Again, Marcus was charming, respectful. He walked her to her car afterward and didn't push for anything physical. Lauren felt safe with him. On their third date, Marcus invited Lauren to his house for dinner. He said he cooked for her. Lauren hesitated, but then thought, "We've been on 2 public dates. He seems normal. What could go wrong?" That decision almost cost her everything. Now here's where things get really interesting. Lauren arrived at Marcus' address on a Saturday evening. The house was in a quiet, suburban neighborhood. Nothing suspicious. Marcus answered the door with a smile. He had music playing softly, wine already poured. Dinner smelled amazing. They ate and talked for about an hour. Lauren started feeling relaxed. Maybe coming to his house wasn't such a bad idea after all. Then Marcus offered her another glass of wine. Lauren accepted, but this glass tasted different, slightly bitter. She'd mentioned it, and Marcus said it was a different brand, more expensive. Within 20 minutes, Lauren felt dizzy. The room started spinning. She tried to stand up, but her legs wouldn't cooperate. She looked at Marcus, confused and scared. His friendly expression was gone. He just stared at her with cold, empty eyes. "Don't fight it," he said, calmly. "It'll be easier if you just let it happen." Lauren tried to scream, but her voice came out as barely a whisper. Her vision blurred. Everything went black. When Lauren woke up, she was lying on a concrete floor. Her head pounded. She tried to move, but realized her ankle was chained to a metal post, bolted into the floor. The room was a basement. One small window near the ceiling, covered with plywood. A single light bulb hanging from the ceiling, and then Lauren heard something that made her blood run cold. Crying. She turned her head and saw 2 other women, both chained to posts on the opposite side of the basement, both staring at her with terrified, hopeless eyes. But if you think that's crazy, wait. The woman closest to Lauren whispered, "How long ago did you meet him?" Lauren's voice shook. 3 weeks ago, on Bumble. You, 2 months ago. Hinge. The other woman spoke up. 4 months. Also Hinge. My name was supposed to be Amy Chin when we matched. Lauren felt sick. Marcus had been hunting on multiple dating apps, using slightly different names, different photos, but the same method. The woman who'd been there 2 months said her name was Nicole. She explained what she learned during her captivity. Marcus wasn't his real name. The house wasn't his. It belonged to his deceased grandmother, and he'd inherited it 6 months earlier. Marcus had a normal job at a physical therapy clinic. But at night, he became someone else. Marcus brought them food once a day. Sandwiches and water. He never spoke much. Never explained why he was doing this. He just watched them sometimes, saying nothing. Nicole said she tried screaming when she first woke up. Marcus came downstairs and calmly told her the basement was soundproofed. The third woman, whose name was Jessica, had been there the longest. 4 months. She looked thin. Her eyes had lost their light. Jessica told Lauren that Marcus had let the first woman go, a girl named Stephanie who'd been there before Jessica arrived. Marcus kept her for 2 months, then one day brought her upstairs, and she never came back. "Do you think he actually let her go?" Lauren asked. Jessica's silence was the answer. Lauren asked if they tried to escape. Nicole showed her the chain around her ankle. The post was solid metal. They tried everything. The chain wouldn't break. The small window was their only hope, but it was too high to reach. Days passed. Marcus came and went. Lauren kept track of time by counting the meals. She'd been there 9 days when something changed. Marcus came down the stairs, but this time he looked nervous. "One of you's leaving today," he said. Marcus was reading something on the screen of his phone. "The police are asking questions at my work," he muttered. "Someone reported one of you missing. They're actually looking." Lauren's heart jumped. Her roommate. She told her roommate about the date, given her Marcus's address. Her roommate must have called the police when Lauren didn't come home. Marcus paced back and forth. "I need to clean this up," he said. He walked toward Jessica. She started crying. "No, please, I won't say anything, please." But Marcus didn't unchain her. He walked past her and stopped in front of Lauren. "You're the problem," he said coldly. "You told someone where you were going. That was stupid." He unlocked Lauren's chain. For a brief second, Lauren felt hope. Then she saw the look in his eyes. He was taking her somewhere else. Marcus grabbed Lauren's arm and dragged her toward the stairs. Nicole and Jessica screamed at him to stop, but as they reached the stairs, something happened that Marcus didn't expect. The sound of a door being kicked in upstairs. Shouting, "Police! Search warrant!" Marcus froze. His grip on Lauren's arm tightened painfully. "You did this!" he hissed at her. Multiple officers came crashing down the basement stairs. They saw Marcus holding Lauren, saw the other 2 women chained to posts. "Let her go! Hands up!" Marcus let go of Lauren and slowly raised his hands. His face showed no emotion, just cold calculation, like he was already planning his defense. Officers rushed to help the women while others handcuffed Marcus. Lauren collapsed on the stairs, sobbing. Later, Lauren found out what happened. Her roommate Sarah had called police when Lauren didn't come home that night. She'd given them the address Lauren had texted her before the date. Police went to the house the next morning. Marcus answered the door, calm and cooperative. He said Lauren had been there for dinner but left around 10 p.m. He seemed completely normal, but one detective noticed something. The house smelled like bleach, strong chemical cleaning smell. When asked about it, Marcus said he'd been deep cleaning. The detective's instincts told him something was off. They got a warrant based on Lauren's roommate's statement and the suspicious circumstances. When they searched the house, they found the reinforced basement door, the soundproofing, the chains. During the trial, forensic investigators found David's computer. He'd been active on 7 different dating apps, had conversations with 43 women. But investigators found something else. Photos. David had been taking photos of the women in his basement while they slept, planning to post them on dark web forums where people share this kind of content. David Park was sentenced to life in prison without parole. He showed no emotion when the verdict was read. David seemed normal because he was good at hiding who he really was. That's what makes predators dangerous. Every day, millions of people swipe through dating apps looking for love. Most find bad dates, some find heartbreak. But what I found was something far worse. I matched with someone who had killed before, and I had no idea until it was almost too late. Let's jump into the real game. It was a Tuesday night in March. I was scrolling through Tinder after work. His profile seemed normal. His name was Marcus, clear photos, a decent job, a dog. We matched and started talking. The conversation flowed easily. He was funny. After 3 days, he asked to meet for coffee. I said yes. I told my roommate where I was going. I picked a busy cafe downtown, 2 in the afternoon on a Saturday. When he walked in, he looked exactly like his photos. That was my first relief. We ordered drinks and sat down. The first 20 minutes were great. He talked about his construction job. He showed me pictures of his dog. But then something shifted. He started asking strange questions. Where did I live exactly? Did I live alone? Did my family live nearby? I brushed it off. About 30 minutes in, Marcus excused himself to the bathroom. While he was gone, something felt off. Just a feeling in my chest. I decided to Google his name. At first, nothing came up. Then I added our city name. That's when everything changed. The first result was a news article from 6 years ago. Local man convicted in brutal assault case. I clicked it. My hand started shaking. There was his face. He attacked his ex-girlfriend, beat her so badly she spent weeks in the hospital. He served 5 years in prison. But that wasn't the worst part. Another article appeared from 8 years ago. A suspicious death. A woman he dated had died under mysterious circumstances. The case was never solved. Police questioned him, but never charged him. The article called him a person of interest. I felt sick. I looked up and saw him walking back. He was smiling, but now it looked dangerous. I had maybe 10 seconds to decide what to do. I acted normal. I put my phone face down. He sat back down. He asked if I was okay. I said I was fine. Just a weird work email. But I wasn't listening. I was planning my escape. Then, he said something worse. He mentioned he'd just moved back to town. He'd been away for a while, but didn't explain where. He was trying to start fresh, make new connections. Every word felt like a threat. He was describing his prison release without saying it. I noticed his dating profile name wasn't his real name. The article said Marcus Anthony Williams, but his profile just said Mark. Different spelling, no last name. He was hiding his identity. He asked again where I lived. More specifically, what neighborhood, what street. I lied. Then he asked if I wanted to go for a walk. My heart started pounding. No way was I going anywhere private with him. I told him I had dinner plans. His smile faded. He asked if we could meet again, maybe somewhere more private. His apartment or mine. Coffee shops were too loud. Too many people. That's when I knew. He wanted me alone. I made an excuse to use the bathroom. I grabbed my phone and purse. I wasn't coming back. I walked toward the restrooms, then headed for the back exit. I pushed through the door into an alley. I walked fast toward the main street, but then I heard the door open behind me. It was him. He called my name. He said I forgot my jacket, but I wasn't wearing a jacket. He knew I was running. I didn't turn around. I walked faster. He called again, louder, angrier. I reached the main street and stepped into a busy bookstore. I told the worker someone was following me. She understood immediately. She took me to the back office and called police. Through the window, I could see him, Marcus, standing outside, looking through the windows, searching. He stood there for almost 10 minutes, just waiting. Finally, he walked away, but I stayed until police arrived. When officers got there, I told them everything. They ran his name. That's when they told me something that made my skin crawl. He wasn't supposed to be on dating apps. It was part of his parole. He was violating his release terms. But there was more. I wasn't the first woman to report him. 2 others had filed complaints that month. Similar stories. Different names on each profile. Invasive questions. He tried to isolate them. One said he showed up at her workplace. Another said he followed her home. Police were building a case. They asked if I'd testify. I said yes. They told me to block him. Change my routine. Be careful. 2 months later, the detective called. They arrested him, but not for parole violations, for something worse. He attacked another woman. She met him on Bumble. 3rd date, he convinced her to come to his apartment. He locked the door and assaulted her. She fought back and escaped. She called police. She pressed charges. The physical evidence was enough. Combined with parole violations and other complaints, he faced serious prison time. My report helped establish a pattern. I met her weeks later. We got coffee. She told me her story, how he seemed normal, how he gradually became controlling. We talked about the woman who died 8 years ago. Both wondered if Marcus killed her. The detective said they were reopening that case. If this opened your eyes, understand something. This could happen to anyone. Dating apps aren't going away, but we need to be smarter about using them. Every week, thousands of people meet strangers from dating apps. Most dates are awkward, but what happened to me was something nobody warns you about. I matched with a girl whose photos looked perfect, but the person who showed up wasn't her. and what happened next still keeps me up at night. It was a Friday evening in October. I was swiping through Bumble after work. Her profile caught my eye. Her name was Sarah. She worked as a nurse. We matched instantly. We talked for a week. The conversation was amazing. She was funny. We had so much in common. She suggested we meet for dinner. A nice Italian place downtown. I was excited. I got to the restaurant early. Sarah texted saying she was 5 minutes away. I waited. Then she walked in. But something was wrong. The woman who approached looked nothing like the photos. Her hair was different. Her face was different. Everything was different. My stomach dropped. She smiled and said my name. She sat down like nothing was strange. I was frozen, confused. She started talking like we'd been friends forever, acting completely normal, but I couldn't focus. I asked if she was Sarah. She said yes. I asked if those were her photos. She paused. Her smile faded. Then she said something that made my blood run cold. The photos were her friend. Her friend let her use them because guys never swiped right on her real pictures. I felt trapped. I told her I needed the bathroom. I grabbed my phone and stood up. As I walked away, my phone buzzed. A text from Sarah. The real Sarah. My hand started shaking. The text said, "Please help me. Someone stole my photos. They're using my identity. If you're on a date with someone claiming to be me, it's not me. Please call the police." I looked back. The woman was watching me, still smiling. But now it looked wrong. I went into the bathroom and called the number. A woman answered. Panicked. Her name was Sarah Martinez, a nurse in Chicago. Someone had been stealing her photos for months, creating fake profiles, going on dates pretending to be her. I told her I was on a date right now. She said she'd call police immediately. She told me to leave safely. My heart was pounding, but the woman was sitting between me and the exit. I found a back door. I pushed through into an alley. I started walking fast, but then I heard footsteps behind me, running. I turned around. It was her, but she wasn't smiling anymore. Her face looked angry. She yelled at me, said we weren't done, said I owed her a chance. I told her I knew she stole those photos. She stopped. Her expression changed to something scary. She said nobody wanted her. She had to use pretty girls' photos just to get guys to talk to her. It wasn't fair. I was just like all the other guys, shallow. I told her what she did was illegal. She laughed, a cold laugh. She'd done this dozens of times. Different names, different photos, different guys. She had a whole system. I wasn't her first victim, just another guy she'd catfished. I started backing away. She took a step toward me, but then we heard sirens, getting louder. The woman's face went pale. She turned and ran, down the alley, into the darkness. 2 police cars pulled up. I met them. They took my statement. They'd been looking for this woman for weeks. Multiple women had reported stolen photos. Multiple men had reported being catfished. They showed me a photo, a different woman. They asked if this was who I met. I said yes. Her real name was Jennifer Hayes. Identity theft, fraud, stalking. She was wanted in 3 states. A week later, the detective called. They'd arrested Jennifer, facing multiple charges. They found hundreds of photos on her computer. Different women, different identities. She'd been doing this for years, but here's what haunts me. During interrogation, she told them why. She was lonely, invisible. Nobody wanted to date her as herself, so she became other people, pretty people. She said society made her do it. She showed no remorse. She blamed everyone else, the dating apps, the men, the pretty women, never herself. I testified at her trial. Jennifer got 4 years in prison, but she'd probably be out in 2. That terrifies me, knowing she'll be back out there, because people like that don't change.